Okay, this is a reaction video. This is a reaction to Henry Talks Football. This is about Arsenal beating Leicester City 2-0 earlier this morning for me, this afternoon for you guys as well, over in London, in England. And this is Henry Talks Football. This is his take on it. Let's see what he has to say.
No Bukayo Saka, no Gabriel Jesus, no Kai Havertz, no Gabriel.
Yeah, but at least we have Mikel Merino, who's able to come off the bench and score 2 goals for Sterling, who was I mean, a lot of people are criticizing Sterling getting offsides very often. I didn't think Sterling was too terrible, but I didn't think he was too great either.
Martinelli, step forward, Ethan Nwaneri, and Mikel Merino. That is a massive 3 points for Arsenal today. Ethan Nwaneri, masterclass. Mikel Merino comes on, plays in that number 9 role, and scores twice. And what that does is that puts the pressure on Liverpool tomorrow, who play Wolves.
Now, Liverpool is going to beat Wolves tomorrow. I have no doubt in my mind about that. And I think that Liverpool is going to win the title as well. Yeah, they have some tough games, but I think they're going to win the title regardless.
A massive, massive win for Arsenal. Not the best game from a neutral, not the most exciting game from a neutral, but they did their job and they got the 3 points. Make sure you go down, drop a like on the video if you haven't already. We'll be here as well for the Manchester City-Newcastle match reaction. Make sure...
that game's already been played, right? I think it was like 4-0. Manchester City beat Newcastle. Just crushed them.
You hit that subscribe button. We're steamrolling our way towards 50,000 subscribers. 90% of you who watch the content are not subscribed, so go down and hit that subscribe button. What are you waiting for?
Yeah, I subscribe to it. Even though I'm an Arsenal fan, I subscribe to Henry Talks Football. Even though he's a Spurs fan, I subscribe. Go ahead and subscribe for him, as well as for me as well.
We are just over 500 from 45k. Leicester 0, Arsenal 2. And we need to speak about Ethan Nwaneri, because every time I watch him play, he surprises me with, he adds something to his game. He can go on the outside, he can go on the inside. That left foot is deadly. The cross. He's the only one today that actually looked like creating something for Arsenal. I want to bring up the lineup.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what's gonna happen when Saka gets back. You got Ethan Nwaneri out there as well. I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens when Bukayo Saka gets back.
That they played, and here it is. You know, David Raya, Lewis Skelly, Gabriel, Saliba, Timber, a very, very, very strong back four. Declan Rice, who was making a lot of those advanced number 8 attacking runs. He got into the final third a number of times with some decent runs and a few, good bits of...
One thing you can say about Arsenal is their defense is very solid. And, Lewis Skelly back there instead of Calafiori, who came on in the second half. I mean, it's surprising that Calafiori isn't starting there, but Lewis Skelly has been doing a great job.
Play from him. Thomas Partey. Joe Cole said something on commentary today, and it really kind of made sense what he said. And this was a sort of game where they needed someone like Jorginho. Better range of pass than Partey. That defence was... Jamie Vardy was the only one that was really going to create anything from this.
Jamie Vardy scores more goals against Arsenal. And, I remember what it was 2015, 2016, when Leicester won the Premier League title. If memory serves, Arsenal beat Leicester at Leicester and at the Emirates. I think it was Danny Welbeck who scored the winning goal in the death. Jamie Vardy has scored more goals against Arsenal than any other team that he's played against.
Leicester side, and maybe who's the other player they've got on the bench? Mavididi, yeah. But in terms of this team, I didn't really ever think Leicester would win. I did think at one point it could be a draw. Raheem Sterling on the left, just for whatever reason, he can't really get it going. His touch isn't that the best. He's offside a number of times. Leandro Trossard, I thought, actually had a decent game. I thought the three or four best players on the pitch for Arsenal were David Raya, Nwaneri, Odegaard, and Trossard. And and Nwaneri. And we've got to speak about him now because when you're 17 years of age, most players are being developed and are being, monitored and looked at and trying to get game time. This guy has come into, and as well as Miles Lewis-Skelly, they've come into this Arsenal team and they're now being relied on at 17 and 18 years of age. It'll be very interesting to see what happens when Bukayo Saka comes back. Will Nwaneri get a huge amount of game time? But I thought Arteta, he made one change in the second half around I think it was the 70th minute when he
68th minute, I think exactly. But when he brought Merino in for Sterling.
brought on Mikel Merino for Raheem Sterling, that change won them the game. Arsenal fans.
Yeah, I agree. That was a change. That was a change that was desperately needed. And then in the 80th minute, Merino scored the goal, and then about 87th minute, he scored again on a great pass by Trossard.
Seeing his name today, they deserved the win. By I think they had 63% possession, more XG, the better chances. Leicester, towards the end of the first half, did actually start applying some pressure. Jamie Vardy got in a handful of good areas. And it looked like, Arsenal were just kind of trying to see out to half-time to 0-0.
Yeah, I think there was a header. I forget who the guy was who headed the ball past the goal. There was some opportunities there, but it didn't look like as much as Leicester City really didn't look like they were in danger of scoring against Arsenal, it didn't look like Arsenal was in danger of scoring against Leicester City in that first half either.
And that, every time Nwaneri got the ball, he was trying to cut in on that left-hand side, and he did have a decent strike around the 60th minute. I think he hit the crossbar. But other than that, I don't think there was a huge amount of clear-cut chances from Arsenal until they brought on Mikel Merino. Now, everyone laughed at Arsenal for potentially playing him as a number 9. Well,
they were talking about playing Calafiori as a number 9 as well.
No one's really laughing now, are they? No one's laughing now. Arteta subbed off Raheem Sterling for Mikel Merino, and he won on the game. Ethan Nwaneri with an absolutely ridiculous cross into a dangerous area. Nothing fancy about it. Just a decent cross in a dangerous area. When you've got Mikel Merino playing up front, you've obviously got a massive height advantage for dangerous crosses. When you're playing Leandro Trossard, you've got to keep the ball on the ground. And as soon as they brought on Mikel Merino, Nwaneri put a decent ball in, and Mikel Merino heads it into the back of the net. It's a really, really good.
Yeah, it was just a great little cross and headed the ball down into the goal. It was a fantastic delivery by Nwaneri and a great header by Merino, and that was it. I mean, it really wasn't a great game to watch for the neutral, for all intents and purposes. It just basically slowly built up, and then the 80th minute, Merino scored the goal and changed the game.
He leaps high in the box, converts a powerful header past Hermansen, makes it 1-0, and then they made a number of changes, and then Leandro Trossard puts really decent cross, and it's a lovely first time finish from Mikel Merino to make it 2-0. And then they had a chance at the depth for him to get a hat-trick, but the ball didn't really find its way through to him properly. But Nwaneri, Mikel Merino, absolutely incredible today. Those two players won Arsenal that match. And considering they've got an injury crisis up front, if the result goes against Liverpool tomorrow, they have closed the gap down to 4 points.
Well, let's be honest here. Liverpool is going to beat Wolves. That is not in contention. And Liverpool is going to be 60 points. Now, Nottingham Forest got beat by Fulham, and so Arsenal now has a 6-point lead at second place. And Arsenal, I think, at the end of the month goes to Nottingham Forest. So assuming they win that game, which is not a guarantee, but assuming they win that game, if everything holds through, Arsenal will be 9 points clear of Nottingham Forest. So they'll have second place pretty much locked up by then, assuming they beat Nottingham Forest, which is not a guarantee by any stretch of the imagination. Nor Nottingham Forest is an outstanding team, playing outstanding football. I don't, that's going to be a tough game for Arsenal to win. But yeah, I think Liverpool's won the league at this point in time. I find it very difficult to believe that they're going to lose to Wolves tomorrow.
They've only lost 2 games this season, scored 51 goals, which is absolutely insane. Only Liverpool have scored more. And they are in a really, really good position right now, in terms of their points. They've got games coming up, which I do expect them to still win, even with these injuries. But there are some games coming up where they are really going to be tested. Nottingham Forest away, Manchester United away, Chelsea, Fulham, Everton.
Yeah, I'm going to be at the Chelsea game on March 16th at the Emirates. Yeah, they have West Ham, which they should win. Nottingham Forest, difficult match. Manchester United away. Never easy to go to Old Trafford. Chelsea. Then they play Fulham at Everton. Everton's doing really well under David Moyes now. Then they host Brentford and then Ipswich Town. Yeah, look, it's not going to be easy for Arsenal.
Everton away, Brentford. They have not got easy fixtures coming up, but they did the job today. In terms of the match stats, Arsenal completely dominated. More shots on target, more possession, higher passing accuracy, more corners. Only one team deserved to win that game today, and that was Arsenal. But you have to give huge credit to Mikel Arteta because he made that change. He said, during his press conference during midweek, he could play Calafiori there. He could play Mikel Merino in the 9 role. And considering they really only have 2 fit senior players, and obviously Nwaneri, who's only 17, to come away with a clean sheet, 3 points and 2 goals, I think every Arsenal fan would take that to the bank. That's a really, really good win.
Well, the only stat that we really care about, to be fair, Henry, is the full-time score at the top. It's at 2, Leicester City 0. That's as long as we have more goals than our opponents, we're going to be happy with everything.
Win for them. In terms of Leicester, that's now 6 home defeats in a row. I did think at one point Jamie Vardy would actually get a goal. I thought, he's a bit of a thorn in Arsenal's side. He scored more goals against Arsenal than any other team in the Premier League. And at 38, 39, whatever he is, he still is a very good player. But, with Saliba and Gabriel, he's not going to physically match them. He's got to be a lot more of an intelligent player now to try and, I guess, be a bit of a fox in the box sort of player. But fair play. He's still doing his thing. He's still performing. And hopefully, I can't stand Jamie Vardy. I was about to say I wish him all the best. But look, in terms of the Premier League title race, it goes into another week where Arsenal...
Again, like I said, I think Liverpool's got it won. I find it very difficult to believe Arsenal's going to win, come back and win. But we'll see what... Arsenal still has to play at Liverpool. If Liverpool drops some points here and there, it's possible for Arsenal to come back, but I really don't see it.
Have won. And when you look at their recent results, other than the Newcastle slip up in the cup, they battered Manchester City. They beat Wolves 1-0 away. They beat Spurs. They drew with Villa. They beat Brentford. They beat Brighton. They are actually on really good form. It's just how are they going to get on in these bigger games? Nottingham Forest, I think, is going to be the ultimate test because they are a really good side. They've got pace out wide in Hudson-Odoi and Elanga. They've got a good number 9 in Chris Wood. They're really strong defensively.
Yeah, that's going to be a very difficult game for Arsenal at Nottingham Forest. I think Arsenal beat Nottingham Forest at home 3-1 or 3-0, whatever it was. But it's going to be much difficult at Nottingham Forest. There's no question about that. Nottingham Forest looks like they're in pretty good position to make the Champions League.
They don't concede too many goals at home and it's going to be interesting to see how they deal with Nottingham Forest. If they go to Nottingham Forest and come away with 3 points, I think that will be, an absolutely massive, massive win. But look, fair play to Arsenal. Mikel Merino on for that first time finish from Trossard's pass was absolutely insane. And it's a bullet header, and he scored 2 goals in his first 27 games as an Arsenal player. He's just scored 2 goals today, and that's 4 goals for him. Arsenal fans will be hoping that he can try and continue this. They get Martinelli back next month, and then they get Saka back, at the end of March. If they can get through that time period with decent results, then I think they'll push Liverpool all the way. I'm still backing Liverpool to go out there and
I think Liverpool's going to win the title. I don't think Arsenal's going to got enough to do it, but we'll see.
And win this league title. I think they've got the best firepower out of any team in the league. But we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen. Make sure you drop a like. Make sure you hit that subscribe button.
Yeah, please click like, share, and subscribe on me as well as for Henry Talks Football. This was interesting. Arsenal beats Leicester City. The title goes on for another week, but I still think Liverpool's going to win it. But okay. Thanks for watching. Please click like, share, and subscribe for me as well as for him, and have a good rest of your day. Thanks for watching.